So I've seen Alien Covenant, finally, so let's do a little review. Welcome back, guys, it's the Geek here. Yes, I've seen Alien Covenant. There will be some minor spoilers, obviously, here, so if you've not seen it, you might not want to watch. However, if you've seen the trailer and any of the prologues on any Alien movie before, it's not really going to be a spoiler because it's just so predictable. But, despite it being predictable, did I enjoy it? Yes, I did enjoy it. It was fun, it was a good horror movie, it was a pretty good Alien movie, and there were lots of things that were good about it. I am, as you probably know, a big fan of the Alien series, you know, the Xenoverse, and Ridley Scott as well, so that already ticks boxes, so it kind of gets a free pass in a way. You're kind of gonna like it just because it's part of the Alien series and it is canonical, so that helps as well. For me, the best bit of this movie was Michael Fassbender. He plays, spoiler alert, both David, the first synth you saw in Prometheus, and now Walter, a new synth. This is like about a decade later. He plays them both brilliantly. David is an amazing character. He's just absolutely awesome. And synths and, you know, androids and them being evil isn't really a new concept in sci-fi at all. Let alone Ridley Scott movies, but just any sci-fi movies. It's not a new thing. Having an android be a little bit evil or crazy or whatever. It's been done to death, really. However, Michael Fassbender's version of David is brilliant. It's not tired in any way. It's just his performance of it, and the character and the way the character's been written is just perfect. So my favourite scene of the movie is actually the first scene of the movie, and it's with Wayland when he's a little bit younger than what you see him in Prometheus, and he's just created David, one of the first, you know, synths to be created. Makes him quite human in certain ways, and it's just a really strange scene. There's just this perverse interaction between Wayland and David, his creation. It's littered with deeper philosophical meanings of the human condition and, you know, questions that we'll probably never have the answers to. And so it is quite deep, and it is very eerie, and it does set up the movie really well. And Walter is also good. He's a better android, a better synth in the respect that he's not evil, and he's been developed to help out the crew of the Covenant, who are trying to find a habitable planet to, you know, start up a human race there as well, because us being humans, we just don't know when to quit, you know. Like, we have had our day, we do need to just be extinct now. We didn't really work out too well, but no, we won't take that line down. We're going to try and, you know, colonize another planet, and he's there to help them out, and he's really good as well. I also like the character of Daniels. I thought she was a good character. We know that Ridley Scott and Alien movies as well, just in general, seem to always have a female lead, and some people don't like that. I don't think it's on purpose, really. I just think it is what it is, and it doesn't really matter, because in the future, just everyone is really equal, so, you know, it just doesn't matter. And another star of the show for me was Tennessee. He's played by Danny McBride, and I thought he was a really good character, played really well. He gave like a little bit of relief to this movie, but there isn't much relief to this movie. It really is just dread from, you know, the start of it right to the end. It's just horror all the way through. There's just nothing nice about it, really. You know they're all doomed, and it's just seeing it unfold, and spoiler alert again, the ending isn't a good one at all. But yeah, these performances do save the movie somewhat, because there are a lot of things wrong with it, and let's go through some of those now. So, the events in this movie would just never happen. I don't mean in the science fiction way, like space travel being possible to that extent and aliens existing. No, let's pretend that can happen. Nothing else in this movie would ever happen. So, basically, in the future, where the average IQ is obviously much higher, technology is much more advanced, and we've got a crew of brilliant scientists and astronauts going to try and colonise another planet, not one of them has any common sense. Despite being geniuses, no common sense. That is not possible. They find a planet, and yeah, the readings on the ship say the air is breathable, But you don't just walk off a ship just in normal clothes with no helmet. Like, what are they thinking? Even on Earth, our home planet, when there's a possibility of something in the air, or radiation, or something like that, we wear hazmat suits in today's society. As in, like, 20th and now 21st century. This is the 22nd century. Like, if we're clever enough to wear those suits now on Earth, surely they'll be clever enough to wear something in the future on a distant planet. But no, they don't. So, you know, they're all doomed. Like, it was bad enough in Prometheus, right? The stupid guy touches the creature. Who would ever touch a creature? But at least in that movie, they're wearing some kind of suits, usually. And they're a little bit more hesitant about taking their helmets off to start with. Like, they were a little bit more careful, but still really stupid. This is now later on, and people are even worse, just walking around on a different planet, and lo and behold, someone, as you know from all the trailers and the prologues, someone gets some pathogen stuff or, you know, spores in his ear. Doesn't work out too well for him or anyone else there. But like, what were they thinking? And further on from that, if you walk into like a really dingy basement and there's these gooey alien egg things everywhere, would you go up to one and look inside? I promise you, if that happened to me on Earth, I saw something weird, egg-like, I'd either run away or I would douse it in petrol and set it alight. Burn it with fire. Do not look inside and wait to see what happens. What are they thinking? Why they think that people would be that stupid and that we would accept that is beyond me. Like, I really... That did anger me a little bit about this movie, as you can probably tell. It's just so dumb. So dumb. But of course, they had to somehow, you know, unleash aliens, stuff like that. So it just seems a bit of a stupid way of doing it. But the movie was brilliant still. Like I say, you still were scared. Like, the horror is scary. The xenomorph is still such a scary creature. Like, it's just so aggressive and just... There's something about it. It just makes it one of the best creatures and horror monsters there's ever been and ever will be. But the other thing that I have a problem with this movie is I kind of feel like there was no need for it. And although I love it because it's canonical, it kind of answers, it doesn't answer everything, but it answers most things that, you know, Prometheus posed and what we didn't know before about how xenomorphs came to be and all that kind of stuff. Although it answers those questions, which is kind of alright, in a way it's kind of disappointing. Like with Prometheus, there was still an air of mystery about things going on, answered some things, but now it's just all of a sudden, wham bam bam, that's how it happened, that's why they exist, that's all the answers for you. And it's like, alright. Bit of a letdown. It just isn't a wow factor, and it almost feels like the mystery would be better. Like, if the mystery remained, that would be better. Like, aliens for some reason just exist because it's space. You don't need to say, oh, it was this and this and they did that and they made them. So, oh right. It's a bit stupid, wasn't it? I don't know, it's just sort of let me down a little bit. I mean, we do know that those things were engineered. We do know that it's a case of evolution over time and the creature took on various, you know, guises and different hosts before it came to be. We know that kind of stuff. But just the really plain way they said he did it is just a bit, I don't know, it just wasn't quite brilliant. But it did help with the character that's responsible. I don't want to give too much away, but I think you can kind of guess. But we're going to get another prequel, maybe even 2 more, I think I've heard. Definitely another one, so at least 3 prequels. It's kind of like, don't really need any more, because it always used to be about leading up to the first Alien movie. But now it's like, here's a xenomorph, and we're just going to carbon copy that movie. We've got a crew of people, guess what, they all get killed by the xenomorph. And then we'll do another movie, and guess what, they'll be killed by the xenomorph. And then we might even do another one, which is the same thing. And then you get to Alien timeline, and guess what, the crew gets killed by a xenomorph. And then there's another movie after that, and guess what, everyone gets killed by xenomorphs. Like, I just don't think you need another 2 prequels. I'd much rather a new sequel that's canonical. And is Alien 5 even going to be canonical? I don't think anyone even knows anymore. Is Aliens 3 real? Is Alien Resurrection real? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense, and it's getting a bit frustrating because I don't know what they're doing with the series going forward. That being said, I'll always watch any movie with aliens in because I still love aliens so much, and I love xenomorphs despite it being so predictable. But I just kind of feel like they need to do something different. It feels a little bit like Ridley Scott was badgered by people to put a xenomorph in, so he made Alien Covenant have xenomorphs in too early. Like, just too early. There needed to be more backstory. I like the Prometheus feel. Like, hints to it, fair enough, but no, this was just basically a copy of Alien. It was just an Alien movie set before Alien movie. It was exactly the same, really. So I don't know how you need another one, because we know they exist now. But it doesn't have to be a prequel as such leading up to the events of Alien. It could just be another movie with aliens in, which is set just before Alien. It's like, you know, it's okay, it's still an Alien movie, but I'd much rather they just do a sequel now. I kind of want to know what happens further forward, but a canonical one. Like, don't want Aliens vs Predator stuff. We only want Alien 5 if it's canonical, and it's just very strange enough it is because it's not Ridley Scott doing it, and we don't know if Aliens 3 and Alien Resurrection are going to count anymore, and it's just very, very confusing. But guys, don't get this wrong. I know I'm sounding a bit depressed about it all here. It's a really good movie. It is really horrific. Alien movies are amazing. There's nothing wrong with making more Alien movies at all. Despite even if there's things wrong with them and I'll complain about them, I will still always go and see them because it's just such a good series. So yes, I give this 7 facehuggers out of 10. Do go and see it. I do think it's a movie that will be even better the second time you watch it. And I think it would be good to watch Prometheus, then this movie, and then maybe Alien, and then Aliens. Like, you know, if you watched all of them in a row, that would be an awesome weekend, I think. So, yeah, it's a good movie. It's not perfect, it's a bit dumb in some ways, but in other ways, it's brilliant. David steals the show. Well, Michael Fassbender playing David M. Walter steals the show. And it's just good, so go and watch it. So guys, that about do it. Click like if you like that. Make sure you're subscribed for more videos like this, and I'll see you on the next video. And until then, remember, if you ever, for some reason, somehow, go to a distant planet, even if it says the air is breathable, I don't know why I'm talking about Captain Kirk, even if the air is breathable, please wear a spacesuit. Just think, guys, please. Bye.
Guys, if you're still here, you're awesome! But as you are still here, why not check out some of my other videos? Oh, and if you haven't already, please click subscribe. Laters, haters.